Hello, I'm Larimar. Today I wanted to make a video about your life purpose by astrological perspective. So this is based off of your chart ruler, the ruler of your first house. And I decided to make this series because I personally found it very useful to get to know who I am and get the clues from my birth chart. It incredibly helped me deepen my self-awareness and helped me realize the aspects of myself that I was not consciously aware of. So basically it allowed me to see myself from objective perspective. So I think it's very cool. So I actually just posted my blog post on my website, and so I'm going to refer to it. Basically, yeah, this is my notes. So, yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with what is birth chart is basically a snapshot of the energetic dynamics at the time of your birth from your birth location. And it's interesting that this energy starts playing out throughout your entire life. So once you know how to decipher your charts, you can have a lot of clues about your life and how to ace your life. So I hope this is helpful for you and let me know if you resonate with it. And know that not every single details are predetermined from the moment of your birth because we all have our free wills. However, there are certain things that were predetermined that we agreed upon to play this life. For example, there are certain things that we cannot really change, like the location of birth and parent, sibling, childhood experience, um, especially when we are physically vulnerable and don't have a lot of power to change the external circumstances. So those are things are predetermined and that's are accurately reflected on your chart, and most of the time your childhood has a lot to do with your previous lifetime and mostly the things that were not resolved in that time. So it was carried over to this current lifetime. Yeah, so without further ado, I would like to dive in. Hi, I'm Larimer. What is your life purpose? I want to talk about it based off of astrological perspective. And if your chart ruler or the ruler of your first house is in your fifth house, this is a message for you. So basically, your life is very lucky. It's one of the luckiest positions, actually. Your life purpose is to create something unique because the fifth house is the house of creativity, joy, confidence, and self expression, and gifts and talents. And also, it's the house of joy and luck. So it's a very lucky position. So you are definitely a creative person, especially if the ruler of your first house is strong, if it has a strong dignity. For example, if it is Sun and your fifth house is Leo or Aries, if the ruling planet is Venus and your fifth house is in Taurus, Pisces, and Libra, if the ruling planet is Mercury and your fifth house is in Gemini or Virgo or Aquarius, if it's Moon and Cancer is in your fifth house, if it's Jupiter and you have Sagittarius or Pisces in the fifth house, if it's Saturn and you have Capricorn or Aquarius in the fifth house. Saturn is kind of exception though. So you are one of the people who are naturally confident, not afraid of expressing yourself. But if you have Saturn in the fifth house, it's gonna be a little different because Saturn makes people resist and be afraid of something that's related to that area. But eventually, you are going to overcome this challenge with age because Saturn matures in time. It just takes more time, but at the same time, it's where you can master those skills or related topics. So it makes people a late bloomer. It just delays the success, but it doesn't take away. Eventually, it's gonna give you even more strong foundation. So you could involve in the fifth house matter or Leo related fields, which include art, entertainment, politics, and performance arts, any creative work, and businesses in general. And the context is going to be different for each individual depending on which planet and which zodiac signs are involved in this area of your life. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are all going to be related to art, entertainment industries, even though it's a big part that Leo rules. It also rules business, so a standalone project of any sort. It can be related to science, medical fields, law, or it can be anything. But at the bottom line, your purpose is to create something unique, something that most people don't come up with. Your perspective is unique, and that's how you can contribute to the community and nurture yourself. Basically, you're going to be the one who benefits the most from using your own creativity and being confident. And those people around you are going to benefit from your building qualities. So you can be very successful in creative industries, not necessarily entertainment, although a lot of celebrities have these positions, because having the chart ruler in the fifth house makes people like a natural celebrities. They have this built-in qualities. They're not afraid of expressing themselves. They feel comfortable and confident about being who they are, unless they have Saturn in the fifth house, which I do. So I can totally relate to it, even though my chart ruler is not in the fifth house. I have Saturn in Aquarius in the fifth house. So in the early part of my life, especially when I was a teenager and early part of 20s, I was very reluctant to expressing myself. I would rather staying private and not revealing any my innermost thoughts or emotions with other people. It was just so uncomfortable and so challenging for me to express myself. Saturn delays but gives you opportunities to master those qualities over time through repetition, through consistent work, through dedication, through patience and persistence. So I guess that's why I am so drawn to expressing myself in different ways. Right now, I'm currently doing a lot of experiments to figure out what would be the most appropriate way that I personally feel resonate with when it comes to expressing myself. Because there are many different layers to me, and I am trying to work, Saturn rules work to figure this part out. So anyway, that was my story. But for most of you who don't have Saturn in the fifth house, you tend to have a very lucky life. Like even if you have Saturn in the fifth house, the chart ruler in the fifth house indicates that you have a good karma from the past lifetimes. And people may say that you are so lucky and things are just falling into your lap in the right time, in the right place. This is a synchronicity, and you have a lot of good karmas. You've done a great job in the past lifetimes, and then you are reaping these benefits in this lifetime. So you would be most likely to go easygoing, and you love pleasure, you love to have fun. Your life purpose actually has to do have fun in life, love yourself, and give love to others and receive love from others. Getting praise and accolades, these are the things that you you are supposed to do in this life. And generally, you would love sports, games, parties, children, romance. These are all the things that are ruled by Leo in the fifth house. Anything that brings pleasure to you is important for you. And at the bottom line, your main mission is to develop your creativity, your unique identity. So, is it gonna be all easy breezy? Well, most likely compared to other people, but of course, there is a learning curve, and my advice for you is to balance this quality with the opposing um, house in your chart, which is 11th house. In other words, try to be relatable to others while you maintain your unique qualities. So that's going to be your main mission, because just because you're unique and so creative, it doesn't make you successful. You need to find the right point, not to compromise yourself, but you just need to come to the middle point where you can meet with others. So that is going to be your challenge or mission, homework, whatever you call it. So keep your creativity, nurture your creativity, love yourself, and be creative. Make something unique and take pride in your uniqueness, because that is going to be the main service you can provide others in this lifetime, and you're gonna be having so much fun with it, and a lot of people will appreciate it. You will appreciate yourself as well. So yeah, that is it. And I forgot to mention that fifth house also rules stock markets, where anything that is speculative, because it's the house of luck. So you can be good at it unless you have challenging aspects with the planet that is associated with the fifth house and the first house. Yeah, that was what I wanted to add on. And yeah. Also, if you have a kid, especially your first kid, is going to resemble you very much, because your chart ruler is in the fifth house, and the fifth house is the house of children. So that's why. You can be very invested in your first kid. Also, you can be very invested in your creative work, your business, creativity, expressing yourself. Yeah, your life purpose is to express yourself, express your uniqueness, and have fun. Find love within yourself and others. Another advice I would like to give you would be, since love is a big theme for your life, theme of your life, when your energy is low, of course, we all of us go through ups and downs in life. When your energy is low, you might be trying to find love from the external environments, from other people, like begging for attention from others, etc. That can be a coping strategy for you. So keep in mind that, just be aware of these behavior patterns that can be happening when you feel down. So whenever it happens, try to look within yourself and find love within you. Find what you love, because you have to be fulfilled internally first, and then the external realities or circumstances will pace up with what uh, you are holding vibrationally. Whatever you are vibrationally matched will be appearing. So that's all I wanted to share in this video, and I hope you found it useful, inspiring, insightful, and leave a comment below if you'd like to share your experience. I would love to read your comments. So let me know, and thank you. I will see you in the next one.